This is WMBF News Today at 5:30.
Predicting deadly accidents before they happen. That's how troopers in one Carolina county have cut fatal accidents by a third. More on their secret to success coming up. Then one luxury car maker putting the brakes on a problem that could prevent you from stopping altogether. We'll tell you if that car is sitting in your driveway this morning.
Plus, stolen pets and harm to our kids are just a few of the consequences to dogfighting rings, the warning signs to spot to keep them out of your neighborhood. And our work week starts off with some mild temperatures. Marla has your first alert forecast.
That's right. Temperatures mainly in the mid to low 50s right now. However, we are watching some clouds push in. Notice that cloud cover making it just barely east of I-95. Still mostly clear for now at the coast, but we will continue to see this eastward progression of the cloud cover in there. It's also going to thicken up throughout the day, so by the time we get to lunchtime, expect overcast conditions. Also watching the chance for some showers, but this rain chance really isn't going to make it to our neck of the woods until we get a little later in the day. Temperatures right now, 49 in Florence, 54 for Myrtle Beach, 56 in North Myrtle, and 50 in Lumberton. For that bus stop forecast, temperatures in the 50s for this morning. Notice the cloud cover increasing, but staying rain-free all the way through the bus ride home with temperatures in the 60s. Let's get a check on your morning commute now with Jenna.
Thank you, Marla. As Marla said, it's a clear commute for you this morning. No rain to tie you up in the morning hours. You can see I-95 is going to be a smooth drive for you this morning. As you hit 501 and 17, you shouldn't run into any issues. You can see the back gate is pretty quiet right now. Unfortunately, though, 17 is going to be a tie-up spot for you if you're headed towards Surfside. You're going to see some shoulder closures headed towards the Glens Bay Road intersection for that construction. And then if you're headed northbound, you're also going to see some shoulder closures. It just means that you might see some slowdowns there. But the big tie-up spot is going to, of course, be on Homestown Road. You'll see lane closures there. So I'm going to suggest to you, if you need to drive through this area, you use 17 Business, or if you need to get between 17 Business and Bypass, just use Highway 544. David?
All right, Jenna, something I know you'll be talking about as we get closer to the event itself. A traffic alert for you. The Myrtle Beach Marathon is this coming weekend. It'll have runners hitting several of the busy roads in our area, including Robert Grissom Parkway. It'll also impact several Coast RTA routes on Saturday. Affected routes expected delays in services or changes are on your screen right now. Normal services will be back Sunday. For a complete breakdown of all the changes, head to WMBFnews.com. We have them listed for you in the story under the local tab.
In Robeson County, troopers are making the county roads safer than they've ever been. From 2012 to 2014, Highway Patrol brought the number of traffic-related deaths down by 32%. That's the largest decrease the troop has seen in years. Sergeant Daniel Hilburn says the results are because they're doing more with less because of new programs and technology. They've also teamed up with the governor's Vision Zero program that allows them to narrow down what caused certain crashes so they can increase patrols and prevent another tragedy from happening again.
We can always use more personnel, but if you combine the technology we have today with the personnel that North Carolina Highway Patrol has, we're doing an excellent job in trying to counteract the severity of these crashes and the fatalities that occur on the highways in the state of North Carolina.
Well, the sergeant went on to say the three biggest factors in what often causes a wreck: driving while impaired, speeding, and seatbelt violations.
That's one thing that doesn't change. Dogfighting has long been thriving as far as an underground industry across the country, both in urban and rural areas. In fact, just last month, a dogfighting ring was discovered in Georgetown County.
Katrina Helmer joins us live from the St. Francis Animal Shelter. Katrina, leaders warn us to be on the lookout for this kind of animal abuse in our own neighborhoods.
Dogfighting is a serious crime, so it's not important just to protect dogs like this survivor, but also it's about protecting your community.
Dogfighting is out there. It still exists.
Case in point, the dogfighting bust in the Sandpit community of Georgetown County. Based partially on citizen complaints, agents with the 15th Circuit Drug Enforcement Unit and Georgetown County Sheriff's Office have now arrested all 7 suspects connected to a dogfighting ring. Agents also found illegal drugs and stolen property.
And it is a community issue because it is not just dogfighting. You're generally going to find drugs, illegal gambling, stolen property on occasion.
Oftentimes, kids are spectators at these secretive dog fights. Leaders at the shelter say this can cause serious damage to children in how they decide to treat animals and humans.
There's empirical data that shows a direct correlation between animal abuse and domestic abuse.
In the state of South Carolina, dog fighting is a felony offense. That goes for anyone breeding the dogs for this purpose or fighting the dogs. For a spectator, it's a misdemeanor for the first two offenses, then a felony for the third.
Humane Society of the United States has an ongoing $5,000 reward that leads to the arrest and conviction of dog fighting.
So here are some signs you should look out for. A large number of dogs that are of the pit bull or the terrier type. Those are the breeds they tend to like to fight. Also, look for any scars on the dogs, or if they're chained up, or if they're not social. And look for any training equipment. So that would be anything from treadmills to tires hanging from trees. And look for any traffic coming in and out of the house at odd hours. Now, if you think anything is suspicious, for the sake of dogs like this, go ahead and contact your local law enforcement. Reporting live in Georgetown, Katrina Helmer, WMBF News.
That dog enjoying all that attention. Katrina, thank you for that. In Florence County, a search is underway after a high-speed chase. Deputies say it started in Darlington along I-20. They also tell us the car the person was driving had been reported stolen. That chase ended when the suspect hit a light pole on Ronald McNair Boulevard. The person got out of the car, took off into the area on Saturday. Crews are focusing their search in the Lake City area this morning. And a fight ends in a shooting at a Georgetown County nightclub, leaving one person hurt. Deputies say it happened about 4 a.m. at the Mayo's Club on Sunday. When they arrived, a large crowd began running out of that area. They found one person suffering from a gunshot wound to his leg. He was taken to a local hospital for treatment. If you know any more about that shooting or whatever was going on at the club at the time, call the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office.
Right now, Myrtle Beach police are looking for a man after a robbery on North Oak Street. That victim told police that the man came up behind him and poked him in the back with a round object. The man then demanded the money, not turn around, and to give him his wallet. He was able to get away with some cash and a cell phone. It happened early Friday morning. If you know anything about this case, call Myrtle Beach Police. 3 men accused of killing 2 convenience store employees in Horry County are waking up behind bars. A judge denied them bond on all charges Saturday. Horry County Police arrested McKinley Daniels, James Daniels, and Jerome Jenkins on Friday. They all are charged with 2 counts of murder, 3 counts of armed robbery, 3 counts of using a firearm during a violent crime, and 1 count of attempted murder. The suspects will now go on to circuit court in the future for additional bond hearings. Bond for murder charges cannot be set in magistrate court due to the severity of the charges. A task force of 8 different law enforcement agencies worked around the clock until a lead brought investigators to Loris. They say they found evidence at a person's home tying them to the murders of 40-year-old Bala Parachuri and 30-year-old Tricia Stull, and a 3rd robbery at a Scotchman in Horry County.
Also this morning, police are hoping that you can help them find a woman wanted for unlawful conduct toward a child. They're searching for this woman, Nicolette Loveless. Please take a look at your screen if you can right now. If you've seen Loveless or know where she might be, call the Myrtle Beach Police Department on this one. And there's now a reward for information to help a missing person get home. 63-year-old Danny Atkins was last seen January 19th in Horry County, but his car was found along a 2-lane county road in Tabor City, North Carolina. His family, along with the Q Center, has now offered a $1,000 reward for anyone who can give them information about where Atkins might be right now. Police say Atkins has some health issues which can cause him to become disoriented.
Well, more than 260 people will head to a courtroom this morning in the capital murder trial of Eddie Ralph.
Yeah, he's charged with killing Navy SEAL Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield 2 years ago at a luxury resort shooting range in rural Texas. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest.
At first glance, this quiet Texas farm town may seem like the last place the story of American sniper Chris Kyle would play out.
Well, this is not a hick town, despite what people may think. We try to do the right thing. I think it's a town of high moral character.
Later this morning, inside the Erath County Courthouse, the process of finding 12 jurors and 2 alternates will continue in the trial of former Marine Eddie Ray Ruth, the man accused of killing Kyle and his friend Chad Littlefield at this North Texas gun range 2 years ago. though some here are concerned.
Well, let's coach him up.
About the effect the blockbuster movie could have on the proceedings.
When you publicize something like this, it's probably hard to give anybody a fair trial.
Hard, but not impossible, according to retired Judge Mike Snipes.
The issue is not whether the potential jurors, they're called venirmen, have seen the movie or have even heard about it. It's whether they can put that aside and evaluate the evidence as it comes in fairly and impartially and make a decision.
A decision that many believe is crucial.
We can only hope that we can finally find peace for all three families.
As this real-life drama unfolds in North Texas. Jay Gray, NBC News.
Well, happening now, winter weather continues to pummel our poor friends up north. Let's give you a live look right now out of Lexington, Massachusetts. Look at the mountain of plowed snow on your screen right now. I actually just saw a van get stuck there, turning out of that intersection. Schools and government offices are closed ahead of the storm. It's expected to bring 2 feet of snow to some parts of New England and New York State. This is why we all live in South Carolina. They've had more than 60 inches of snow in the state in the last 2 weeks, with more coming. The National Weather Service has issued winter storm warnings for New England and central New York and the western Catskills. David and Theo.
All right, at least half of the people killed by police suffer from some kind of mental illness. Now a new training program could create a new understanding between cops and those they're sworn to protect.
And our rain chances increase later today. I'll tell you when they're expected to hit the Grand Strand and PD in just 2 minutes.
WMBF.